One of the things that you need to kind of look at is there is a price for risk. And I think, you did point out some very specific examples of some stuff that has gone wrong in this region. But by and large, if you look at the overall growth story, it's a far more forecastable and intact growth story here.
Well, the main reason why I mentioned though is because if you're an international investor and you're going, the things you're going to notice are going to be like, this is happening, that's happening, and it sort of clouds your view because why am I deploying there when I can just park it in the S&P?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
more so treasuries. U.S. bonds, right?
U.S. bonds have been coming off, and I think that's the key indicator that a lot of investors are going. You're already kind of seeing valuations getting priced to perfection in some of these markets, which have, especially the U.S., which has run for most of this year. Yes, a lot of that has been the Magnificent Eight in the equities market, but across, if you look at the sort of November swing, a lot of the small caps have also run. But if you look at this part of the world where you have significant amount of investment still going in, you've got the demographics, you don't have, the fact that you have all these risks, very specific risks that we'll mention, but at the same time, valuations are at a level which is not at the level of an S&P. Right, and it's the same with the government securities as well.
The reason why I ask as well is because couldn't you also not make the case that if you want to mitigate some of that risk, then perhaps you should be looking at alts in ASEAN rather than having exposure to equity risk, because it's sometimes tricky to understand. You've got different liquidity conditions, but if you're investing in the areas where the money's actually going, if we're talking about fixed asset investment versus liquid FDI, that could also potentially be an option if you don't want to have some of the up-down risk and sit there watching it every day.
No, I think the market is big enough for both, all the different asset classes. Because as I said, just on net zero transition alone, you need $1 trillion, right? One asset class, whether it's alts or whether it's bonds or whether it's equities, cannot absorb that level of capital requirements. So you actually do need a much broader market to address this. And I think that's what's going to drive the next phase of valuation for this region.
What's happening on the AI front in this region, you think?
I think it's very, very exciting. I think, especially, some of the more developed ASEAN markets like Singapore, Malaysia, they have been investing a lot in this segment already over the last 5-6 years. If you take the Singapore banks alone, they've been spending about 15% of their OPEX just on upgrading their technology systems. And I think as you go forward, one of the key areas, especially with Gen I, is everyone kind of gets excited about this, hyper-personalized selling and all the front end, the stuff with the bells and whistles. But what's really actually exciting is the stuff in the back rooms, the middle offices and the back offices. That's, I think, where a lot of this Gen AI is going to come in and drive efficiencies.
Is there an AI stock that you like in the region?
I think a great AI stock, in a way, is DBS. And the reason I say that is if you actually look at the spending that they have done on their platforms already, and now that you've got the Gen AI also coming in, that's going to drive a significant amount of economic value. Just for DBS, we're estimating around 700 million of economic value being driven by the existing AI systems that they have over the next 5 years.
Okay.
Hopefully no more issues with the
online.
The online outages. Maybe the AI fixed it. Thilan, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Really do appreciate it. That was Thilan Wickramasinghe of Maybank Investment Banking Group. We're going to